Hey guys, welcome to Flix Bros. I'm Brandon and I want to introduce you to a very special co-host, Wade. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, this
No,
is
no, no,
Wade.
not you.
Oh.
Wade Wilson.
Oh.
Deadpool's with us today.
Oh, okay.
Also, Wade, my brother. But most importantly, we have Wade Wilson, Deadpool, aka Ryan Reynolds, coming in to review his own movie, which is awesome. So please introduce yourself now that you've been so rudely interrupted.
Oh! Oh, hello. Well, that's just lazy writing.
On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about Red Notice, starring Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Gal Gadot. It released on November 5th for limited viewing as far as in theaters, and then it just came out on November 11th on Netflix. So if you do have a Netflix subscription, you can check it out there for free now, or you can still check it out in limited theaters as far as around you, so you can check out the overall viewings there as well.
Man, I was excited to see this movie. I honestly have no idea why, but I mean, when it has The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds, everybody loves Ryan Reynolds. Let's face it, we all have a crush on the guy. I mean, nothing not to be excited about. And I mean, it's Gal Gadot.
Sure. Yes.
Sexy.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds better though. Yes. Definitely better.
Looks are everything. Think Ryan Reynolds got this far on his superior acting method?
So Red Notice, if you're not aware what it's about, it is basically your buddy cop slash heist movie. It's your stereotypical rock action movie that comes out once a year, and you throw in some Ryan Reynoldsisms, and you have Red Notice. Really, the plot here is that they are a couple of art thieves and a cop all working together against each other. You know, lots of twists and turns to steal the 3 Cleopatra eggs and get them to the end buyer, and a whole lot of double crosses and hilarity ensues.
Yeah, essentially, and as far as on Ryan Reynolds, for the most part, kind of took the overall show by storm whenever it comes to comedy, just like what you've seen in Deadpool before. He definitely does a phenomenal job with a lot of just witty quips and a lot of differences as far as on the way Dwayne and Ryan Reynolds really interact throughout the movie, as well as with Gal Gadot. The overall character development was a little bit hit and miss in some areas as far as with the overall casting. Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you've seen them in a lot of different movies as far as throughout time, and they've been in big blockbuster hits, Deadpool, Fast and Furious for The Rock. But as a duo is just a little bit different as far as on how they kind of got together. Gave me a little bit of the vibes as far as like on Central Intelligence with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart. But I feel like Dwayne and Kevin Hart reciprocated off it a little bit better in reference to comedy. But he at least still brought that action feeling as far as like what you've seen in his movies before to Red Notice. Ryan Reynolds had a lot of different, funny quips, definitely worth as far as on the quotes. But what are your thoughts like as far as on...
I absolutely, totally agree. I wasn't thinking Central Intelligence is a good point there. Yeah. I was thinking more of the most recent, Fast and Furious with Jason Statham and The Rock, and they're back and forth and really just, being pricks to each other pretty much the entire movie. And I really enjoyed that, and I really feel like they wasted The Rock here. I mean, he's very statuesque, he's very angry, just kind of plays that really serious character that just did not hit home for me whatsoever. The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, drags this movie through the mud the entire time. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I really enjoyed it. I laughed my off. Can't say that, can I?
But you don't say that.
And I'm by any means not saying it's a bad movie. I laughed my ass off through the entire thing. Ryan Reynolds really did a great job in that. And Gal Gadot, I loved her character as well. It's Gal Gadot, so she's sexy, she's smart, she's fun, and they really let her have some fun with the character this time. She really lights up the screen every time she's on it. So I sound like I'm crushing on her quite a bit, which everybody is, but she really did a good job in this movie. I really enjoyed it.
Well, makes sense. I think she's one of your like top crushes, I think, as far as on celebrities. So,
yeah, she's definitely on the bucket list, top 5 for sure.
Oh, wait. Right, under Ryan Reynolds, of course, because he lit up the screen too.
Number 2, right
way up there, yeah.
Have you ever been laid?
Yeah, Gal Gadot did a phenomenal job, just like really what you're saying. I think every single time that she was on screen, she did a great job as far as on bringing that character to light. Definitely not like what I've seen Gal Gadot do before, really. I don't think in any other movie or nothing that really comes to mind. But I think she definitely had a lot of fun with the part and really kind of brought that character a lot of good substance. But in general, I think as a trio in their own respective ways, all did a great job as far as in the acting. Just hit and miss as far as in some of the interactions between where that character was, I guess.
Speaking of hit and miss, what do you think, Ryan?
Your hairdo is ridiculous.
You, Ryan Reynolds.
This is awkward.
But really, the pacing of Red Notice, I mean, it was just your typical action flick. I mean, it was steal something, witty banner, steal something, witty banner, a betrayal, more witty banner, a lot of Ryan Reynolds-isms. I can't say the word, I know.
Today, Junior?
But, you know, really it went on and on like that. And again, I kind of have to feel bad for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson because I mean, he signs on to co-star with Ryan Reynolds and he just steals the show. I mean, it must be really torture to be a co-star with this guy. Kind of like you being my brother. I understand you live in my shadow. But, no, I mean, as far as pacing goes, as far as the plot goes, you know, it was very cookie cutter. Point A, B, C. I think Gal Gadot even says, "Welcome to the third act" at one point. I mean, it was that clear.
Yes.
But no, I mean, I enjoyed it though. It kept me in. It kept me in the loop. Kept me engaged the entire time.
Yeah. I don't think it was overly intriguing in a lot of situations. Kind of like you were referencing to, is just that it's just A, B, C. Most of it's pretty self-explanatory as far as where the story's going. You kind of have a good understanding of it. It's a great movie as far as just turn your brain off, laugh at some comedy, watch some action, and really that's what it's for. And it did a great job at it. So the overall pacing, I think, was just a good, steady constant. I was never really bored by any means, and I wasn't really over the top by any means either, though. It didn't feel like I was getting rushed or outpaced as far as on where the story was going. So I think they did a pretty good job with the overall pacing.
To be honest, though, the big twist in the movie, did you get fooled by it?
How many of the twists?
I mean, the big twist.
Oh, the big twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of knew that from like midway through the movie.
Okay, yeah.
So
Me too. So like I said, wasn't super smart, but what did you think, Wade? I'm sorry, Ryan.
Well, I may not be real, but for a second there, I felt pretty alive.
Onto the things that we really like and disliked about the movie. I think one of the first things, as far as really the star people, which we just talked about a minute ago, was really Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he definitely stole the show, and just like you said, it's just that he kind of like dragged that show all the way through the mud. It's just like he was just trudging through trying to make something of it. And I think his overall comedy is what good job Dwayne. Oh wait, that's
Dwayne. What's
yeah. But he did a great job as far as on actually keeping the overall pacing of the movie and just keeping it lighthearted and fun. So if you enjoy Ryan Reynolds, which if you don't, you probably shouldn't just watch movies anyways. But if you like Ryan Reynolds, then definitely it's worth watching for you.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I mean, there was decent action in this movie. I mean, it is, like I said, kind of an action / heist movie. There were some set pieces and fight scenes that were pretty decent. There was some comedy thrown into them. Nothing, mind blowing by any means. But no, I mean, it kept up. Nothing bad to say here, really. It's just a summer blockbuster with three big actors, and I mean that's what you're going to get going into it. As far as the bad things go with this movie, again, it's kind of a dumb comedy, so you get what you expect here. But I mean, there was a CGI scene specifically. I mean, there's some spots throughout the movie you could see it, but there was a really, really bad one that took me out of the movie. They're in a bullfighting scene. Once you watch the movie, you're going to see it, and holy crap, it was bad. It took me out of the movie. I mean, I could do better. I've never done a green screen in my life. I know you have a little bit. I could have done a better job than they did in the movie. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of weird as far as on specifically that scene. There was different parts in the movie that just looked kind of off, I guess, as far as on what they were trying to attempt with the overall green screen and CGI of it. I think as far as on like their lighting, I don't know exactly what happened. It just seems like that specific scene they definitely rushed through. I don't know. It's very odd it's probably like a 2 to 3 minute scene, and you'll definitely know what it is when you see it without really trying to spoil anything for you. But yeah, they definitely did not do a very good job on it. And I would say on the other dislike, I mean, we talked about how Ryan Reynolds was so great in this movie. Really just didn't like Dwayne Johnson's character. It was just very boring. I mean, really, it was very direct and to the point. Definitely reminded me a lot like what he is in Fast and Furious. Really, this kind of shot for shot retake.
Hobbs, yes.
At random tiny little comedy pieces here and there, but honestly, the comedy pieces kind of grew away from the character of what I thought they were going for anyways. So I guess it's kind of odd. I don't really know. Yeah, it's definitely not a crack at The Rock anyways. I think he did a good job as far as an acting portion. Nothing that was particularly wrong. It was just that the actual witty repartee between both Dwayne
Yeah,
Rock
it was one-sided. 100%. It was one-sided.
Definitely. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was running with all the comedy in the movie, and the action shots were just action shots. I mean, it wasn't anything to really do with The Rock and those, other than he's just blockbuster action, right? I mean, he's that big name in the movie.
He really wasn't even a big physical presence in this movie. I mean, like other ones, you know, he's this big imposing figure. I mean, just a monster of a man, a mountain. And this one, he was just there. I mean, I totally believe that Gal Gadot could kick.
Yeah,
I mean, really, he was just not very imposing. I don't know, the character kind of fell flat for sure. Gal Gadot did a great job. Ryan Reynolds did a great job. He was just bland. So that brings us to our final thoughts on the movie. And I'm going to say I had a lot of fun with this movie. It was a good, fun summer blockbuster in the middle of November as it's snowing outside for the first time here. But I had a lot of fun. I'm going to give it a 6.8, I think. Again, that's not a critic score by any means. That is just audience enjoyment for sure. Turn off your brains, plop down on the couch. It's on Netflix. It's free. Just sit down and enjoy. Trust me, I think you'll enjoy it as long as you enjoy comedy.
Yeah, and kind of like you're saying, as far as on the Netflix portion, is that it's literally free. I mean, right, you don't have to go to the movies. You don't have to spend $30-$40 on popcorn, candy, drinks, everything. You can literally just put in a bag of popcorn and watch the movie for $3 if you have a Netflix subscription, right? It's definitely worth watching and checking out. Ryan Reynolds does a phenomenal job, just like what we talked about. I probably scored a little bit less than you. I probably stick it at about 6.1 is where I'd probably put it out there. So overall, yes, definitely worth watching. It's definitely not a bad movie. Like you said, on critic scores, I think it was a little bit worse as far as on what we're kind of looking at it as. But I think they did a good job on it. And just like you said, turn off your brain, watch the movie. It's fun comedy. It's great action. You won't be disappointed. So Ryan, who should not go see this movie?
People who are easily offended, those with taste and a sense of humor, people who don't like to waste time or money, and Cristiano Ronaldo.
And that's it for this overall week's episode, and I appreciate everybody watching. If you wanted to give your overall thoughts and give us your score as well, because we'd love to hear back from you, make sure to comment it down below. And if you enjoyed the video, definitely make sure to hit that subscription button. It is very helpful to us. Make sure to hit the bell icon as well, just so you can see when future videos come up. And also, as we continue this venture as far as on content creation, we're going to be going into different social media platforms. TikTok is probably going to be the first venture that we're going to be looking at. So if you wanted to do us a favor and make sure to follow us on TikTok, you can check that in the description as well down below, and that'll take you straight to the link. You can hit us with a follow. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we'll see you on all of our different platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and hopefully more in the future. But again, everybody, thank you for checking out the video of Red Notice, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.